Right, this is a quick walk around video for a Mercedes CLK. This is the 280 Sport 3-litre V6 model. Showing it here still on its private plate, although the plate transfer has currently been undertaken. It will go on to WM07BWX once that's completed in the next few days. Car's covered 63,918 miles and is in absolutely stunning condition. The video really won't do justice to it. I do apologise, it's a bit of a wet, murky day, but this is a fabulous, fabulous looking car, one of the very, very best you'll see. On the AMG alloys there, vented discs. Just come to the front of the car here, just to show you all the lenses, all in absolutely superb order, no cracks, condensation or otherwise in those. Hardly a stone chip to be seen or mark anywhere on this vehicle. It really is one of the very finest. Don't get me wrong, if you get a microscope out, I'm sure you'll find something somewhere, but realistically you're going to be having to look very, very hard indeed. Matching set of Pirelli P0 Neros on there as well. Alloy on the front near side there, absolutely super condition. All the panel work down this side, again absolutely superb. Rear alloy pretty much unmarked on there as well. Slightly heavier tint on the rear windows, which was done by the last customer, but it has been done very nicely, it really has. Come around the back of the car, again all as clean as a whistle. Front and rear parking sensors working absolutely perfectly. Just quickly show you in the boots while I'm here, just to show you the plates there, ready for obviously once the transfer is done. But let's say that should be fairly soon now. Come to the offside of the vehicle, again clean, crisp, and rear offside alloy, again absolutely superb. But a very, very, very handsome looking car. It really does suit it. The silver and these alloys really suit it fantastically well. But overall on the outside, as I said, you know, this is still a car that's, goodness me, it's going to be 10 years old this year, which is amazing given the condition the car's in. It really is fabulous, fabulous condition. Just come to the near side of the car on the door card here to show the inside of it. Again, all absolutely fabulous order. We have not valeted this car, literally just a wipe off with, get rid of the road dirt, but honestly it's one of the very, very nicest you'll see. Come onto the back seats there, again pretty much don't look like they've been sat in, to be honest with you. They, you know, just look like new, and obviously a nice little Mercedes file that came with the car. We've got loads and loads of paperwork attached to the vehicle. I'll show you the service history in due course. So sat in the car here, engine running as you can see, just show the door card again. Just go into the glove box there, you can see you've got the multi-CD player there. And then just down here, original book pack, all the manuals for the car and the locking wheel nut key. So just pan around the rest of the dashboard here, all in absolutely pristine condition, it really, really is. Down here you can see the electric controls for these orthopedic seats, the optional ones on the car. We just pan around to the dashboard there, you can see engine's running, there's no warning lights on, just the low fuel warning light currently illuminated on the car. Multifunction steering wheel there, and then controls for all the switches. But honestly, I don't think you're going to find a better one anywhere. It is absolutely superb. Sorry, I do apologise, almost forgot to show you the service history of the vehicle. So we've got Mercedes-Benz there at 6,547, Mercedes-Benz again there at 11,800, Mercedes-Benz there at 17,000, Mercedes-Benz there at 21,865, Mercedes-Benz there at 27,000 miles. Then we go independent on the servicing at 33,000. Back to Mercedes at 37,000, back to Mercedes again at 41,000, back to Mercedes then at 52,000 miles, and then we've got an independent looks like an independent Mercedes specialist at 62,788 miles. Right, this is a brief road test. This is for a Mercedes CLK. This is the 280 Sport 3-litre V6 petrol model. This particular car is registered WM07BWX. Advertised currently on a private plate, which the gentleman who part exchanged it into us is currently having a plate transfer done on, so it'll go back onto this plate in the next day or two. The mileage at the start of this road test is 62,930 miles. Reason for the road test is simple. We'd like customers to see, or potential customers at least, to see our cars in operation prior to coming to see us. That way, clearly, if there's any issues with the vehicle, I can let you know about them prior to coming, and also give you feedback on just how the car drives. As you may know from the advert, if you've seen the car advertised, the car's been very, very well looked after. But having said that, all my videos, if you've seen any of them previously, you'll know that I am critical of the vehicle, so if there's something I need to let you know about, I will do so. It's not just a box ticking exercise. If there's genuinely something amiss with the vehicle, I will let you know. So just to point out also that the road tests are done on the same country roads just outside our premises, so in theory should be wholly representative of what you should feel yourself when you come and see and drive the car. So starting as I always do with the engine of the vehicle, it was -3 degrees centigrade this morning, and the car started first turn of the key, settled to a very quick and even idle, no strange noises, whirrings, buzzers, clicks, or anything at all, utterly smooth. No warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine of the car or anything else for that matter. Engine pulls absolutely beautifully. It's a genuinely lovely engine to sit behind. Pulls with guts, but it's beautifully mechanically refined. They do a really lovely job on these engines. In a world of very worthy but ultimately pretty dull and predictable turbo diesels, which are kind of all or nothing, it's just so nice to sit behind an engine which just sings and bellows with a mechanical smoothness, which I've got to be honest with you, I'm sort of pretty fed up with the diesel stuff these days with all the problems they have, and this is just a breath of fresh air. But the engine is perfect. Likewise, the gearbox of the car changes gear all but imperceptibly. It's got a wonderful gear change on it. I did the normal things which you should do on any automatic gearbox, obviously when you're trying them, to check for wear, which is obviously to select from neutral to drive to back to reverse, and otherwise just see if there's any delays or clonks when it engages, but there's nothing at all. It's, it feels as tight as a drum, it genuinely does. But the engine and gearbox work in perfect harmony. It's just a lovely setup. But obviously I'll put my foot down more on the kind of open road in a second, hopefully, just so you can hear the engine. But yeah, I mean, it's just the immediacy of response that you get from this size engine, this size car. It's kind of the perfect combination for it. It's not ridiculously powerful where you just don't need it, but it's got enough to get you out of trouble, but also it's enjoyable as well. As I drive along, I'm also conscious of the fact that I'm listening out for kind of wind noises or any kind of wind intrusion that comes into the vehicle that shouldn't be there. Because ultimately these are incredibly quiet cars. It's one of the quietest cars I've ever driven. And occasionally you'll get a badly fitted windscreen if it's been replaced, or someone's accidentally skagged a door seal, and you might get kind of an annoying wind hiss in what should otherwise be a very, very quiet car. But I can feel or hear absolutely nothing in it. It's it is utterly quiet. It really is. So I'm just going to put some warm air onto my feet because they get a bit chilly. So yeah, I mean there's nothing. It's kind of vault-like in its quietness in here. It's wonderful. driving the vehicle again, just checking out sort of the various functions of the vehicle. Brakes rock solid. They've got the vented discs on the car, but you just touch the brakes and it's a solid fade-free pedal. The whole car feels incredibly tight. The chap that had it previously kept it in wonderful condition, and it's a testament really to its ownership and impeccable maintenance history as to just how nicely the thing drives actually. But the brakes don't exhibit any judder. There's no pulsing of them. Clearly, on an automatic car, you put in more pressure and strain on the brakes of the vehicle because through a fundamental lack of engine braking by comparison to how a manual car should be driven. But there's nothing. It brakes beautifully. Likewise, track's absolutely bullet straight. There's not a hint of wear in the steering at all. It's got a lovely, beautifully weighted power steering setup. It feels taut, precise, and as I said, the whole car just feels. I'm not going to say as new because I hate that as a cliche, but it's about as close as you'll ever get. It's wonderfully taut. Suspension of the car's riding on the AMG wheels, but that doesn't detract from a very, very, very comfortable and compliant ride. It's a lovely combination of straight ahead on roads like this, very smooth, very comfortable. You can obviously eat up motorway miles in utter comfort, but when it comes to sort of the pointier stuff, or the tighter stuff rather, then it's more than capable. The suspension exhibits, there's no thumps, bangs, clonks, rattles from underneath, which even on a Mercedes you'll get the odd anti-roll bar drop links and these kinds of things, a little bit of wear, but it's absolutely solid. It's wonderful. Control the damper, the way that it soaks up the bumps. They've got the dampers exactly right on the car. It's not wallowy, but it's got a real control about it, which is very, very impressive indeed. Looking around inside the car, again, I hike on about it, but really it's a testament to the owner of the vehicle. It's in beautiful condition in here. A very nice place to sit. It's got these orthopedic option seats on the car, so you've got all this kind of adjustments you can make internally on it as well. But it's very comfortable, very, 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 very quiet. To keep going on about it, but it really is. But the interior, really nice place to sit. Very nice, high quality, clearly, as you'd expect from Mercedes. But all in beautiful condition. I think you'd be very, very hard pressed to find a nicer example than this particular car. Looking at the centre console here, again, all the buttons got a kind of factory fresh look about them. We've not cleaned it, it's not been touched, valeted, anything at this stage. Doesn't really need it, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. In some ways I'm inclined to leave it as it is because it's kind of it gives a fairer reflection of how it came to us. But everything I've pressed thus far works perfectly. Look at the dashboard here. No warning lights on the dashboard at all. All the functions working perfectly. All the pixelation exactly as it should be as well. Obviously you've got multifunction steering wheel here as well. I've not tested the kind of hands-free functions, not paired my phone to it, but the facilities on there looks like to do that. But every other button I pressed thus far on the vehicle has worked exactly as it should do. So the whole car does drive very, very, very well indeed. What I'll do in a second, I'm just going to go along a sort of straight bit of road. I'll shut up for a couple of minutes and just put my foot down, drive the car, and then you can sort of hear it, so you don't hear my voice bleating on. perfect for that. Just obviously gives the impression just exactly how quiet the car is. I'm not. Oops. Sorry. Just flashed the man in front by mistake. It's it's a car that it really does give it's a lovely car to drive. I mean, it's so obvious, but it really is. But if you come to look at cars like this, sometimes you get in them and they've been hammered. Then they can't sort of get away from detract from them. You might have a bit of wear on them, but this feels as though it's been really, really, really looked after and treated with kid gloves, because it's just wonderfully taut. It really is. Now, if there's anything I missed out on the video, then I do apologise. It's not by intent or design. I simply can't fault the car. As hard as I may want to try, went through pre-delivery inspection without any sort of advisory. I'd write, if I can get it right in a minute, advisories or notes to But it said if I've missed anything, do give us a call. Let us know. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have. But based on this drive, I think anyone coming to see the vehicle will be, utterly thrilled with what was a truly lovely example of a very, very, very fine car indeed.